everyone, I'm Florian Puhani. Welcome to my first pure assembly video. I thought it might save time for some of you if I kept the do-it-yourself stuff separate from my usual training and explaining content. Because I realize not all of you are interested in everything I do here on this channel. So if you are here now, I can assume you want to see me disfigure the interior of my living room in an interesting way. And you want me to comment on the process, right? Okay, let's go. Initially I wasn't sure if I should show you the video in real time or maybe double speed in order to not overstay my welcome at your screen. So I put the timer there to display the actual duration of the assembly in any case. You can verify it's real time by checking the seconds on the timer. 1001, 1002, 1003. Now for the assembly. Those double folded round slings help keep the ring straps in place and protect them from fraying, because the rafter beams have rather sharp edges. I always get a feeling of that when I use them for hanging by my hands. Yeah, about that doorstop. I had put it there as a marker for the camera. So yes, I definitely should have removed it before I started the assembly. Please excuse my messiness. I was lucky to not trip over it, otherwise I would have had to start all over again, because my ego wouldn't have let me show you a fail video. At least I remember to wear shoes. As you know, I love to train barefoot, but I stub my toes all the time, especially if there's a lot of equipment lying around. And that wouldn't have been nice to watch either. I hate it when the ring straps are twisted, so I always make sure to thread them into the buckle the right way around. Maybe I could have saved some time if I had neglected that, but on the other hand, twisted straps could impede the hoisting of the finished pendulums, as you will see in a few minutes. Now let's talk about a safety issue for a moment. You can suspend up to 200 kg from each of the ring straps. And even the smallest of the carabiners and round slings could carry more than half a metric ton each. The only unknown in this equation is the rafters. So I consulted a construction engineer about it, but for a reliable estimation he would have needed more data. However, he still had one reassuring information for me. Before they broke, the beams would creak. Luckily, to this day, I've hardly ever heard any sound coming out of them, let alone an alarmingly loud creak. I guess the most questionable activity in this regard must be the monkey rings, because of the shearing forces. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch my monkey rings video. I've linked it in the info card. Top right corner. Yeah, finally I put that dreaded doorstop away. Watching me scurry around it all the time must have been almost painful. Sorry I've put you through this. Obviously I wanted the Twin-Pendulum to be parallel to the floorboards. So I had to shift the round slings on the far side a bit to the right, which is easy as long as there is nothing heavy suspended from them. With a loaded pendulum, it would have taken considerably more effort, of course. These are safety carabiners, by the way. They lock automatically and you have to twist the latch to open them. By the way, there on the balustrade lies my cheat sheet. I had put it there just in case I forgot what to do next. And as you can see, I really took one or two glances at it just to make sure I wasn't mixing things up. I was pressed for time after all. These cushions, I guess, are pretty self-explanatory. I had to put them close together at first, because the round sling that makes the transverse connection must have a lot of slack. Otherwise I couldn't loop it over the plates, which, as you can see, is necessary at least on one side in order to fasten it the way I prefer. If you don't have plates with those openings for easier carrying, you can also latch the transverse belt into the carabiners that are going to be at the bottom of the weight stack on each side. In my experience, the transverse belt should be at least 2 meters long. Any shorter would limit the range of motion for most exercises. Now, you already know the next step of the procedure from my ring balance lead videos. It's the plate loading, of course. I'm still searching for a way to change the weights on the hanging pendulum. In its current state of development, you can only add more weight with extra slings and carabiners, but not reduce what has been suspended from the start. So 60 kg is all I can handle with weighted push-ups if I want to train in the hypertrophy rep range. Unfortunately, I have no idea how much weight I'm actually pressing in the end position of the exercise, because I haven't figured out yet how to apply a scale in this case. Just like last time with the pseudo-planche push-ups. Back then, someone of you had suggested to put a board over the scales, and that had worked fine, because I just had to put my hands on it. But now I have to use parallettes, which makes the scaling much more problematic. By the way, you can see them already lurking in the bottom right corner. Now for the hoisting of the twin pendulum. It is surprisingly easy if you're patient. With the weight stack still staying on the ground, you tie the straps down so that they make an isosceles triangle with the rafter. Then you grab the carabiner and pull the pendulum slightly to the side until the strap on that side becomes a bit slack. Now with the same hand that holds the carabiner, you keep the strap from shifting while you tie it down again with the other hand. Make the strap's rafter triangle isosceles again by repeating the same procedure on the other side. Repeat iteratively until the pendulum is hanging symmetrically at the desired height. Then repeat the whole procedure with the other pendulum, like you see me do now. Well, I forgot the 2 neck pads I'm using for cushioning the yellow transverse belt, so I had to retrieve them from downstairs, which cost me another 15 seconds I could have saved. But on the other hand, I completely forgot to put the parallettes in place as the last step of the procedure. So I guess that makes it kind of even. And there goes another second for momentarily not finding the stop button. But still, I was able to keep it well under 10 minutes, as it had been my goal right from the beginning. By the way, the relative majority of you had guessed that right in the respective survey a couple of days ago. Now here is the finished twin pendulum machine. Isn't it a beauty? I can assure you it looks much uglier with me taking weighted push-ups beyond failure. If you want to witness that, look out for my next video. Make sure you've clicked the bell icon so you get notified of it. Unless of course you haven't subscribed yet. In that case, I would encourage you to do so, because I have lots of different content I would like to present you in the next weeks and months. Until then, thank you so much for your support and your encouraging comments. My name is Florian, and I will continue to make an effort so that you don't get bored with your training.